Lucinda, there's something I need you to hear.
This is pointless. She won't believe it anyway.
Quite right. I wouldn't believe a word that she said. Because I've learned the hard way that she's full of nothing but lies. She's a fraud.
Sam, don't. Sam, don't. You can't. I can't let you drive her away for your sake as well as for hers. Lucinda, Sam really is your sister.
Come on, Bethany, you're stonewalling.
I am not stonewalling you, Susan. John stopped off for dinner at the Mona Lisa when he got home from Jersey early, and they're making this big deal out of it.
Well, he hardly looked at me and Larry. He's got a thing for you.
Listen, I'm his physician. I mean, it's normal for a patient to become emotionally attached to a doctor. I'm saving his life.
How do you feel about him?
Well, we have a lot of fun together.
Ah, Dr. Rose, there you are.
Yes. How are you? You ready for your chemo?
As a matter of fact, I am, and I don't see why I should have to chase you all over the hospital just for you to get to pump me full of poison.
Have a lot of fun together, huh?
Yeah.
Now, I want you to tell me what really happened in Africa.
What's this all about?
Shannon had another nightmare last night. She woke up terrified, screaming your name, begging you to let her go.
All right, now, wait a minute. There's an...
What did you do to her? A helpless woman locked in a cell with you.
I tried to help her.
Don't lie to me! I know damn well what happened.
You don't have a clue as to what happened! Shannon was yelling and screaming at me to let her go because I was trying to keep her away. I was trying to keep her away from her baby.
As the world turns. Brought to you today by Fixodent. Fixodent and forget it.
What? Baby.
Well, when they threw me into the cell with Shannon, she was pregnant.
She was pregnant.
I mean, it was really rough for her. I mean, chained up the way she was, no medical care, no decent food. Well, she ate whatever she could to keep strong for the baby's sake, but she kept hoping that somehow they would release her before the baby was born.
How could they keep her prisoner under those circumstances?
They didn't do a whole hell of a lot of worrying about that. Shannon, she was a champ. She just kept talking about what it was going to be like after she was released. She talked about the clothes, the toys she was going to buy for the baby. She even designed the nursery in her head. She described the whole thing to me. So it gave her hope. It gave me hope.
Did she tell you how it happened? Did some bloody guard rape her?
No, no. She was pregnant when they brought her there.
Who?
The baby was yours, Duncan.
John, I'm sorry I wasn't in my office, but I wasn't expecting you till 9:30.
Yeah, well, you see, the sooner I start this stuff, the sooner I get it over with, if that's all right with you.
Yes, of course.
You know what I love? How it puts you in a good mood.
Don't you have patience to check on something like that? The hospital doesn't pay you this fat salary to stand around the coffee pot all day.
Oh, brother.
He's all yours.
Thank you. What did you do, wake up on the wrong side of the bed this morning? Huh?
I'm gonna be nauseous for the next week and a half, so if we could just get on with it, you know?
I just have to check on one patient, and then I am going to personally come up here and escort you
Bethany,
to the test.
come on. Let's just cut to the chase, to the main event. What do you say?
John,
Huh?
been looking for you.
Oh, hi, how are you? How are you?
Great. But Andy told me that you were going in for a new round of chemo today, and so I came by to offer some moral support and only black jelly beans. I know it can't be any fun.
It's chemo, you know. It's like an insurance policy. That's what it is. Yeah. How you been?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Actually, I'm great. I'm terrific. Duncan and I are so happy together. Why, I would blush to tell you the details. And you know, I'm back as an interior designer. I've got a great new job designing Eduardo Grimaldi's new office at Worldwide. I am not only making a bundle, but I am in a whole new phase creatively. It's une floraison de mon petit génie, you know, a flowering of my modest genius.
You're hyperventilating, you know that?
No.
Yeah, you are.
Oh, no.
I know you. Whenever something is up, you start to hyperventilate like this. Are you still having nightmares?
Nothing I can't handle, only a couple now and then. I mean, I can handle it now that Duncan and I are back together, and DeVere is... Oh, John, you have to meet him.
Yeah.
He's the man that saved my life in prison. He's here.
You woke up screaming his name. You had a nightmare at my place one night. You remember that? You woke up screaming his name. Remember that?
That dream was not about him. It was about the prison, and I wasn't ready to talk about it then.
He's here, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he can help you work through your nightmares.
Well, maybe. I mean, actually, things are already starting to kind of rumble around inside of me.
Yeah, I can see.
But,
yeah.
you know, that's good, right? To get things out, and then maybe those ghosts of the past will just sort of go poof into thin air.
Mm-hmm. Maybe. Poof. Yeah, like you say.
Good morning, Shannon.
Oh, hello.
All right, John. You ready to go downstairs for those tests?
Best offer I've had all morning.
The day's still young.
Yeah.
Well, I leave him in your capable hands.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Did I ever tell you I love this man?
Well, a lot of people love this man.
Good.
You take care of yourself now.
Yes, and you too.
Okay, let's go.
We're off.
Jeremy Gray told the police last night.
Yes.
Sam really is your sister. Lucinda, he had the documents to prove it. Margot has had them authenticated. Trudy Morris gave birth to a stillborn baby. But she and her husband left that Peoria hospital with the Keller's baby girl.
And then when Gray hired me, he didn't tell me that I was Royce's twin for fear that I wouldn't go through with
Sam
his
didn't
job.
even know that she was adopted till Margot told her last night.
Listen, I was shocked, but yet it explains so many things. I never felt like I belonged with my parents. And when I came here, I immediately felt like I belonged in a family. You have been so good to me. And as I've gotten to know you,
Get her out of here.
I've come to love you as a
Get
sister.
her out of here. Stop her. She can't stop herself. She doesn't know anything. She doesn't know anything but lies. Even she doesn't know them if they don't hit her in the face. Get her out of here.
Listen,
She's
I want
a
you to
fraud,
talk to Margot.
Craig.
She tried to
I don't
reach
want
him
to talk
last
to
night.
Margot. DNA. DNA. That's my middle initials. DNA. And get out. Both of you from my office.
Lucinda, please don't do this, please.
Do not bring her back here. You can call me if you want. You can come.
Did you get all that?
You okay?
DeWitt. The files, they were supposed to be on my desk in the morning. Where are they?
I'll get them.
Oh. Get me a little vase for this, will you?
Oh, congratulations. I'm
Thank
so
you.
happy for you. I'm so
Thanks.
happy for the both of you. I know the two of you have been through so much. Just glad you finally popped the question, Cal.
He didn't. I asked him.
Oh, that's great. So have you set a date?
Well, we're thinking sometime in the spring.
So what about work? Are you going to continue to work for Walsh Montgomery?
I don't have any plans to change anything so far.
Good.
Holden,
Good.
what are you doing here?
I guess you haven't told him.
No, I haven't told him.
Told us what?
Monica has hired Holden as Lawrence Industries' point man. Now, I've explained to her that it's going to be a problem for us, but she insisted. She threatened to walk. I've got to go. I've got a meeting with BRO. Evan's out of town. I'll fill you in on everything when I get back. But believe me, it won't touch your good news.
Thanks.
Thank you, Evan.
So, heard you were back. Just thought I'd stop by, tell you about what happened with Monica.
So I guess this means you'll be spending a lot of time around the office.
Yeah, look, I know you're concerned, but I really need this job. I have a son to support.
I understand that you need the job, Holden, but have you thought through the problems this could create?
So? What do you think?
Man, that's Ludi Bell all the way. I mean, the lines, and you got the flames in here, and you can tell she goes like a bat out of hell. I mean, how did you do that with the lines there?
Do you want it?
Yeah, sure. They look great hanging up at Sparky's.
Well, all right, it's yours.
For keeps?
Yeah, keeps.
Sweet. Thanks.
Mike, whoa, wait a minute. What are you doing? Do this. Then roll it. There you go.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm not good at handling nice things. I'll try not to smudge it with my greasy fingers.
See, now, why do you always have to say things like that?
What? I was kidding. That's a joke.
Yeah, but all of your jokes always have the same point, taking a shot at me. Yeah, all right, I grew up in Grosse Pointe, but that doesn't mean that I think that I'm superior to you or to anybody else out there. The fact is that I left Grosse Pointe because I chose to leave. Every time I say something you can distort into my being a snob, you just...
Truce, okay? Okay? I mean, thanks for that. I love this. All right, let's just be cool, all right?
All right, fine. Sometimes I wonder if you even like me at all.
Now, are we starting again?
No, I'm not starting with you. I'm just trying to communicate with you, if you can stand it. And, Mike, I thought that we were kind of getting along, you know? We're starting to sort of understand each other after hanging out at the track and working on Andy's loft yesterday, and...
Yeah, I mean, what's the point? What's
my
your point?
point is that I don't understand you. I mean, one minute we're getting along great, and the next minute you show up with Miranda.
This is about Miranda.
No, this is not.
No? Well, then
about
what is
Miranda.
it? What is it? I mean, do you want me to give up all my friends? Is that it? Do you want me to sign some sort of life commitment in blood?
Please,
I mean,
Mike,
what?
I don't want a lifetime commitment from you. I'm not going to be another Miranda in your life.
Well, now, that would be hard to do, because that girl knows her way around carburetors. All right, look, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to lighten things up here. All right, why don't you tell me what you want Grosse Pointe style? Do you want to own me? Am I supposed to not look at anybody or
Mike,
talk to anybody?
I just want to know where I stand with you. That's all.
What do you mean where you stand? I mean, I told you I have not been seeing anyone since we were in Montana. And I mean, it's not because of you. I haven't felt like it, okay? That's...
You know, you're impossible. You're just...
No, I'm not impossible. I just don't want you to ride me about Miranda. I don't give you the third degree about Evan. Hell, for all I know, you could have jumped in the sack with that jerk as soon as you got back from Muscle Shell. You did, didn't you?
Shannon was hysterical when the guards took the baby away. I mean, she was screaming, begging for them to bring the baby back and for me to let her go.
Well, why were you bloody holding her while they were taking away her child? You were helping them.
The baby was dead when they took him away. He died right after the birth. I'm sorry.
If I hadn't given up, if I had done such...
could have saved them both.
No. No, don't do that to yourself. I mean, even if you knew where they were holding Shannon, you couldn't have made them release her until the truce.
It took her so long to tell me what happened, what she went through. She never said anything about this. Nothing.
Well, I think she's told you everything that she knows.
What do you mean?
Shannon doesn't remember the baby. She's blocked it all out.
The DeWitt proposal?
Thank you.
And the vase.
And it's got a little water in it. Thank you.
So?
I'm fine. Sit down. I think that you'll have to agree with me that this whole mess gets more and more incredible every step of the way, right?
Yeah, I can remember when two of us went to Peoria. Look up Gloria's old neighbor, Maud.
Yeah.
Did I hear something about Sam really being your sister?
I doubt it. Very much. But, hey, anything's possible. Anyway, I don't care. I don't care anymore. It doesn't matter a bit to me. She's already out of the will.
I'm sorry you're going through this.
Has Eduardo called in?
No, and as a matter of fact, I wanted to talk to you about that. I'm kind of surprised that you put him on the Deemer deal. I thought that was Craig's baby.
Yeah, but Craig's out. Weren't you informed? I fired him yesterday.
Why?
Why? I can't work with a man who's lost his mind. A man who says that he's in love with a con artist and a fraud. He's out. So you can take over all his accounts.
Yeah, whatever you need.
Yeah, Thelma. Okay, put him through. It's Royce. Thanks. Hi, Royce. Yes, I had been trying to get you, and they said that you were out in the field. That sounds good. I have some rather disturbing news.
So, after Montana and that night on the ridge, you come back here and you just sleep with Evan.
Now, wait a minute, Mike. Evan and I have been going together for a long time, way before Muscle Shell. And after we came back here, it was just that once.
Oh, yeah, just
You know,
once.
you seem to forget how awful you were to me after that night we spent together.
No, I was not that bad.
And then you never showed up again, Mike.
Oh, excuse me, but I got arrested.
Well, I didn't know that at the time. All I knew was how mean you were to me the next morning. And I thought you just picked up and left me there.
Oh.
And then Evan showed up.
Oh,
and so I
Evan,
just...
yes. Yes, your hero in a $3,000 suit. And you couldn't just wait to show him your gratitude, so you thought you...
Shut up, Mike. You know, when I went to visit you in that jail cell, you couldn't wait to tell me that all we had together was a one-night stand.
No, because you lied to me about who you are.
I did... Hi.
Sammy, you're sprung. Free.
Yeah.
All the charges have been dropped.
Way to go. Time for me to get back to the job.
Good.
Good.
I'm gonna come with you, Mike. I got some stuff to pick up. I'll be back in a minute. Mike.
Are you coming back to work?
No. I just came to pick up some things in the back. Is everything okay?
I'm not sure. I feel kind of funny being around you. I mean, all those talks that we had together and then finding out in the paper what you were really doing here in Oakdale.
Rosanna, I never tried to con you. Really. Your friendship honestly meant a lot to me. right, well, I'll just go get my things.
Rosanna, hi. Just a cup of coffee to go, please. I'm in a rush on my way to fashion. Thank you. Sure.
Sorry, Rosanna, did you happen to see where...
There you go. Thank you. Well, well, well. It isn't Samantha Markham, or whatever the hell her name is. How's the art fraud business?
Actually, all the charges have been dropped.
So I read in the paper. And here you are, free as a bird. How do you like that for a criminal justice system?
You know, you don't know the whole story.
I know this. You fooled a lot of people for a long time. But you never fooled me. Neither did that other con artist who posed as your daddy. What was his name again? Ah, yes. Beauregard Eustace. Where did he find a name like that? I warned Craig about you. And I wish for his sake that he'd listen. But you see, he's a very trusting guy.
Craig
and boy,
knows
did
the
you
whole
exploit
truth
that.
now.
Really?
Yes.
Well, how does Craig feel about being used for months while you set up his mother-in-law, Love you, Craig, but ooh, that piece of...
You know, what's also really interesting is after the fact, Craig still chooses to be with me. You know, Emily, you might practice sheathing your claws a little better.
I never hurt Craig or lied to him or used him. Believe me when I tell you this. He will see through you eventually. And when he does, I'll be there. I gotta hand it to you. You wrecked Lucinda. I almost feel sorry for her. No, what am I saying, Lucinda? She'll snap back. She always does. And when she does, she'll get back at her phony little sister.
Actually, you're not up to date. I actually am Lucinda's real half-sister.
What do you want to be in Lucinda's will still or something?
Gloria Keller was my mother. And that makes Royce my twin. And you remember Royce, don't you? It's funny, I didn't know either, but this all came out in the investigation.
Lucinda, Royce, and you. There couldn't be a family that scary.
The police corroborated it last night.
Lucinda must be thrilled. You know what? Let me know when the next family reunion is. I'd love to be a fly on the wall.
I understand why Monica hired you. You engineered the merger with Biogene, but Holden, this is a huge problem for us.
I know. You're worried about me being here because of Damien. I was very reluctant to take the job at first, but I promise you, there is not going to be any trouble.
I've heard that promise before, Holden.
Things have changed, Cal.
What? What's changed?
Lily and I have talked. She told me that she intends to stay with Damien and work on her marriage. I told her I was not going to interfere.
I find that hard to believe, given your history. Have you finally accepted the fact that it's over between you and Lily? And she's the one who wants it that way? Do you realize that she's happy with Damien?
I don't really think she is too happy, Cal. I saw her over at your house the other day. She was really upset about something, and when I asked her about it...
That's exactly what I'm talking about. You make me a personal promise that you will let Lily and Damien work out
I am
that
not
problem.
going to interfere.
You have promised to stay away from Lily and Damien before, and your track record is horrible.
I told you, things are different. You'll see for yourself. Mama invited me to the party that she's throwing for the both of you. Lily's going to be there. I am going to make it work. You'll see.
Hey, you know, my tests haven't surfaced yet.
Well, weren't you just down there?
No, that was a while ago. What has happened around this place since I stepped down?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I think I have a meeting
Yeah,
somewhere.
I think I have work to do, too, but you're going to start yelling at me. Listen, we'll talk about it later, all right?
Bye. John, what's going on?
I just don't like all this waiting.
I
don't
know.
like...
You're in such a rush to get this IV pushed this morning. Why?
Just don't like the waiting. You know what I wish?
What do you wish?
When all of this chemo stuff is over, you and I, we could take a couple of weeks, go someplace, you know, just celebrate, relax.
That'd be great.
Paris, Acapulco.
Tahiti?
Tahiti.
I always wanted to go to Tahiti.
Tahiti, yeah.
A good place.
Mm-hmm.
Gauguin loved it. We don't have to decide now where we want to go. Do we?
This whole thing, you know, this taught me a lesson. If there's something important, you want to do it. You don't postpone it. What do you think about that?
Am I arguing?
You wanted to see me?
Yeah, oh, yes, I did. This is good stuff. All your suggestions, we're going to go with them, right?
Good.
Lucinda. Hello. Hi, Kurt.
Shannon?
Hello, how are
Shannon,
you?
what can we do for you today?
I'm looking for Eduardo. I have the estimate for redecorating his office.
You're going to be redecorating the office for Eduardo?
Yes, I am.
Oh, of course, Lisa.
Yes. Lisa recommended me when she was still seeing Eduardo. Had I known that she was going to be giving us walking papers, I don't know.
I don't know if it happened exactly that way.
I assure you it did.
If you want to get out of the job.
No, Eduardo signed a contract, and I've already started on the design, so... Is he here?
No, he's out of it. But you know what? Why don't we take a look at the estimates, since Worldwide is going to be footing the bill?
All right. It's going to be un peu postmoderne, très élégant. I'm thinking very 21st century, taupe black, white, chrome, très masculin, sort of a Maltese entrepreneurial. Yes, but all that could change. Ta.
Maltese entrepreneurial?
Well, it looks as though one of your sharks is going to be getting a very pricey tank.
We might have to just get some sea kelp. Throw it on the chrome and the white and the très masculin.
And the Maltese entrepreneurial, yeah.
The wall. You know the wall?
Between us?
Oh, not that wall. The wall between your office and Craig's office. It's time for it to be demolished. So get your crowbar.
It was a miracle that Shannon made it through the delivery.
There was no doctor, no midwife?
No, are you kidding? I was the only one there. I mean, I did what I could to comfort her and help her through the labor. Oh, she was in so much pain. I can still remember her crying. I can still hear it in my... The pain. She was so scared. And then the joy. After the baby was born, she was ecstatic. Even in that place. God, there was so much blood. Ugh.
See, that's the dream she has. There's a lot of blood. And she hears someone crying. Only she doesn't know it's herself.
Well, could have been the baby. I mean, he was crying before he died.
He was a boy then.
Yeah. I mean, he had started to cry and to breathe. And then his heart stopped. And all of a sudden, it's just still. Silence. I mean, I was holding the little guy. Well, I knew he was dead. But Shannon, no, she wouldn't accept it. And when the guards came to take the baby away, she completely lost it, man. She went ballistic. And as weak as she was, man, that girl, she was all over those guards. She tried to stop them as best she could. I mean, I had to hold her back. And she was yelling and screaming at me to let her go. And finally, she collapsed. She got real sick. And she became feverish and delusional. And she was sick for a really long time. when she recovered and was lucid enough to talk, I thought she was going to ask me about the baby, but she never did. After a while, I kept trying to bring it up, but she would just close down and say she didn't know what I was talking about. So I figured that was the only way she had to deal with the situation. And so I just left it alone. I don't know. So when I came to Oakdale, I didn't know what kind of emotional state she was in. That night at the Mona Lisa, when she saw me, we had started talking about prison, and I kept waiting for her to bring up the baby, but she never did. And the next day, I mean, we spent hours together talking alone. Still no mention about the baby. Man, I'm telling you, she buried the memory of that time so deep that she doesn't even know there was a baby that ever existed.
Except every night, in her dreams, where she loses our son over and over again.
Okay, the car's all packed. You ready?
Yeah.
What's up?
I had a little run-in with Emily, and she wasn't too happy to see me out of jail. She said that she warned you about me.
She did?
So what did she say?
We have to talk about this now?
Yes, we do. I want to know.
Okay. Emily said that she always thought that you and Elliot were fakes. Eduardo had told her that he saw Elliot at a costume party in the Riviera years ago, and that she was at the racetrack once with a client, and she saw Elliot there. He was answering a page for Beauregard something.
Is there anything else?
The DeWitt party at Lucinda's. She said she overheard you and Elliot talking about the copy making the switch and blowing off to Rio.
And so that's why you broke into my armoire and you found my copy.
Yeah, that and a lot of things that didn't add up, Sam.
Well, you know, Emily couldn't have possibly overheard Elliot and I talking at that party because I wouldn't have been that stupid.
Well, I'll tell you, she overheard something.
I think Emily tipped off the police.
The caller was a man.
So she got Eduardo to do it.
She wouldn't do something like that, Sam.
I'd bet my life she did it.
Hi.
Hi.
I expected to find Emily here. When'd you get back?
Last night. How did you know I was gone?
Oh, I have my ways. Where were you?
You know, I'm glad you're here. I was going to call you. Have a seat. I flew down to Texas to see Cal. You know, I never really got a chance to talk with him when I came back from Europe, and there was a lot I needed to say to him. He and I are going to be married.
Wow, that was fast.
Well, I guess it probably seems that way, but actually it's taken us a long time to get past our problems, if you look at it that way.
Yeah, well, I had a pretty good idea this is what you wanted all along. I'm glad it worked out.
Thanks. I'll never forget what a good friend you've been, Kirk. Especially when I miscarried. I don't know how I would have gotten through that without you.
Well, I owed you for jumping ship. But, we had some good times, didn't we?
I especially enjoyed cooking for you.
Please, that I am trying to forget. My kitchen's never quite been the same.
Well, I'm happy for you.
Thanks.
Cal! Connor just told me the good news. Congratulations, you're a lucky man.
Yes, I am. Thank you very much. I just came by to tell you that I'm ready to go.
Well, I will walk you out, and I'll let Emily know you're here.
Thank you. Good to see you.
Yeah, it's nice to see you.
Well, well, well. I guess you heard the good news.
Yeah, I think it's great.
And the best part is, you won't be hanging around here any longer.
Well, I might be, if you play your cards right. Do-it projections over there on the floor, actually.
I guess I'll just have to bend over and pick them up. You really shouldn't have bothered, though, Kirk. Could have given this to Craig. It's his account.
Well, actually, I think it'd be a little tough for Craig to deal with those from the unemployment line.
What?
Craig's out. Lucinda fired him yesterday.
Shannon has to be told about the baby.
I don't think she can handle it right now.
I'll be the judge of that, Mr. DeVere. And when the time comes, I want to be the one to tell her.
Well, look, if you need to talk about this anymore, you know how to reach me.
Bonjour, mon amour. Hello.
I'm so happy to see you.
Oh, goodness. That's a nice greeting. What did I do to deserve that?
Well, I love you very much. You know that.
I know that, but you're usually so officious at the office. Oh, Duncan, I've had the most fabulous day. It's absolutely great. I adore my work. My dearest friend's alive and well and living here in Oakdale, and I'm in love with the most handsome, wonderful man in the entire universe. My life could not be more perfect.
Okay, here's the deal. I'm fine with whatever you did with Evan, all right? You're free to do what you want, see anybody you want, do anything you want.
Thank you, but I don't want to play the field like some kind of maniac. That's your style, remember?
No, I told you I wasn't seeing anyone since I got back here.
Well, yeah, this is your way of telling me that you want to, right? You come in here and grant me permission to do something that I don't want to do, and in return...
No, in return, I'm a free man. Is that okay with you?
What is this? This really bothers you that I was with Evan that one time, doesn't it?
No.
And yet, it's not supposed to bug me whenever you show up with Miranda or Taffy or
You know,
whoever.
I don't even know why I came back here. I mean, we just don't see this the same way.
No, we don't. You got that right.
Okay, so, then this is never gonna work.
Right. For once, we agree.
Okay, I guess then that's it. See you around.
Emily?
Craig, I was going to call you. I heard what happened with Lucinda.
Well, what? There's been so much.
Kirk told me you were fired.
Yeah, well, guess I'm not surprised he's spreading the news. Did he throw in a little victory dance?
Craig, I'm really sorry. I mean, not just about the job. I know you and Lucinda were close.
Yeah, I guess you just felt that you couldn't work with me anymore, so...
Is all this worth it? After everything you've built here?
Are you asking me if Sam is worth it? She is. I know that other people feel differently. I know that you do. You warned me about her that day.
Yeah. I didn't want to see you get hurt. You didn't believe me.
I didn't want to.
Is that right? Was I right about Sam and Elliot and this whole
Emily,
fraud con
Emily,
thing?
you know what? You were right. My friend, I have to ask you something, and I really need an honest answer.
Sure, what?
Did you have anything to do with that anonymous phone call the police got about Sam?
Goofing off again, John?
I'm still waiting for my tests. I got my hands on these guys down in the lab. Heads are gonna roll. Turn.
All right. I got him.
You got him. You got him. Okay, let's go.
John. I want to talk to you.
What about? Come on.
I want to talk to you in my office.
Why?
I want to go to the office.
There's a problem here, isn't it?
I
there's
want to discuss this with you privately, not in the middle of a solarium. I'm not sure, but there may be a problem, yes.
What in the world did Emily do when she turned Sam in? She KO'd her chances with Craig. Now what in the world can she do to get him back? Find out tomorrow as the world turns. And the trap has been set and the bait taken. Will Nick get caught in Alan's scheme to destroy Alex? Next on Guiding Light.
Scarves by Echo Design Group. Children's clothes by Good Lad of Philadelphia. Join us tomorrow for As the World Turns.